Welcome to our deep dive today.
Okay.
We're diving into Biogaia probiotics.
Awesome.
And we asked you guys to send us some stuff to look at, and you sent us this 2023 compilation of clinical studies.
Yes.
And wow, it's
hefty.
It's hefty. 266 completed studies.
Wow.
Over 22,000 participants.
That's a lot of people.
It's clear that Biogaia has put a lot of effort into researching their products.
And the thing that's really impressive to me is just how organized it is.
Yeah.
They break it down by age group. So you've got adults, school-aged kids, toddlers, infants.
Nice.
So no matter who you're interested in using probiotics for, there's relevant research right here.
You don't have to sift through a mountain of papers trying to find what applies to you.
Exactly.
But they've already done a lot of the legwork.
They have.
So let's jump in and let's start with something that I think will resonate with a lot of parents out there. Infant colic.
Oh, yeah.
The dreaded colic.
The dreaded colic. It's a rough time for babies and parents.
Definitely.
But the good news is that Biogaia has done a ton of research on how probiotics can help relieve those symptoms.
So they're not just looking at any probiotic. They're focusing on this specific strain.
Yes.
Lactobacillus reuteri DSM 1793-8.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. But remember that name.
Yeah.
It pops up a lot in the research.
It does, and for good reason.
Okay.
They found some really compelling evidence for its effectiveness.
Okay.
So,
like what?
For example, one study found that giving colicky babies this specific probiotic strain led to noticeable improvements in crying time.
Okay.
Within just a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And by day 21, many parents were seeing significant relief.
Which is huge, right?
Huge.
I mean, not just for the baby's comfort, but also for the exhausted parents.
Of course.
Who are trying to cope with all that crying.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about masking the symptoms either.
Okay.
Biogaia's research suggests this strain actually helps improve the gut microbiota.
Okay.
That's the community of microorganisms living in the digestive tract.
Got it.
Which is key for overall health.
So it's not just a Band-Aid solution.
Right.
It's addressing a potential root cause.
Exactly.
They're not relying on 1 or 2 studies either.
No.
Their document cites 15.
15.
Yes, 15 meta-analyses that support this strain's effectiveness for colic.
That's a powerful amount of data.
It is.
When you see that kind of consistent evidence from multiple studies, it really strengthens the case.
Absolutely. So we've seen that it can be helpful for infants.
Yeah.
But what about older kids?
Yeah.
Does Biogaia's research address any issues
Definitely.
beyond the baby years?
They do.
Okay.
In fact, they've looked into functional abdominal pain, or FAP, which is a common issue in children. So imagine this. Your child has recurring stomach pain.
Oh.
But doctors can't find any specific cause.
Oh, that's frustrating.
It can be really frustrating for everyone involved.
And probiotics can help with that.
Really? Biogaia's research suggests it's a possibility.
Oh, okay.
They found that this same L. reuteri strain actually helped kids experience more pain-free days.
Wow.
And reduce the intensity of their pain over time.
So it's not just a quick fix.
No.
It's helping these kids regain a sense of normalcy.
Right.
And improve their overall quality of life.
Exactly.
That's huge.
And think about the ripple effect.
Yeah.
Less pain means kids can focus better in school.
Yeah.
Participate more fully in activities.
Right.
And just enjoy being kids.
And of course, less stress for the parents, too.
Of course.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And this isn't the only digestive issue they've studied.
No, they haven't.
They also have research on functional constipation, which is another common problem, especially for kids.
Very common.
You know how stressful it can be when your child is struggling with constipation?
Oh, absolutely.
Biogaia's research has shown that their L. reuteri strain can improve defecation frequency, make things move more smoothly, and even reduce behaviors like stool withholding.
Yeah.
Which can be really distressing for everyone.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got colic, abdominal pain, constipation.
Yeah.
All pointing to the potential benefits of this specific probiotic strain.
Right.
For digestive health.
It's really remarkable how much research they've done in this area.
Yeah.
But their work doesn't stop there.
Okay.
They've also investigated how probiotics can help with acute gastroenteritis.
You mean like the dreaded stomach bug?
Yes, the dreaded stomach bug.
Everyone's experienced that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no fun.
Not fun at all.
It's especially for kids.
Especially for kids. No.
But Biogaia's research shows that Reuteri can actually reduce the duration of diarrhea?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, one study found that it shortened diarrhea duration in hospitalized children by an average of 1.2 days.
So that might not sound like a lot.
Right.
But when you're dealing with a sick child,
yeah,
every bit of relief helps.
Absolutely.
And it can also potentially reduce hospital stays,
yes,
which is a big win.
It is.
And it's not just about treating symptoms.
Right.
Biogaia is also interested in the broader picture of immune health.
Yes.
And how probiotics can play a role.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're moving beyond just digestive issues now.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting for me.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
You know how we're always trying to boost our immune systems, especially during cold and flu season?
Uh-huh.
Well, Biogaia's research suggests that probiotics might be a valuable tool in that effort.
Like, how so?
Well, one study that stands out looked at children in Mexico.
Okay.
Researchers found that those taking this Reuteri strain actually had a reduced frequency and duration of both diarrhea and respiratory tract infections.
So it's not just targeting one specific type of infection.
Right.
It's potentially helping the immune system function better overall.
That's the idea.
Wow.
And this research really ties into the growing understanding of the gut-immune connection, which is a fascinating frontier in health and wellness.
It is.
Basically, what's going on in our gut
can
have a big impact on our overall immunity.
This is all really promising.
It is.
But before we get too carried away, we need to talk about safety.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to giving probiotics to infants and children.
Right. Safety is paramount.
Yeah.
And Biogaia has addressed this directly in their research.
Okay.
They've conducted multiple studies, specifically looking at the safety of their Reuteri strains. And the results are consistently reassuring.
So what's the bottom line? What have they found?
Across a variety of studies involving infants, pregnant women, and adults,
Okay.
their probiotics have shown a remarkable safety profile.
Okay.
With very few reported side effects.
That's great to hear.
It is encouraging.
It makes me feel a lot more comfortable, considering probiotics as a potential option for myself and my family.
Of course, as with any health intervention,
right,
individual responses can vary.
Of course.
And it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor before making any decisions.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've only scratched the surface of Biogaia's research, but so far, I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing.
Me too. We've covered a lot of ground already.
Yeah, we have.
From colic relief to immune health. And it's clear that Biogaia is committed to backing up their products with solid scientific evidence.
Absolutely. And I'm eager to dive into the rest of their research.
Me too.
What's next on the agenda?
Well, let's shift gears and talk about immune health in a bit more detail.
Okay.
Biogaia has done some fascinating research on how their probiotics can potentially boost our natural defenses, not just in children, but in adults too.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's hear what they've found. All right, so let's pick up where we left off.
Okay.
And explore this fascinating connection between probiotics and immune health.
Yeah.
I'm especially curious about how Biogaia's research applies to adults.
Okay.
We talked about kids and their infections earlier.
Right.
But what about us grown-ups?
Well, you know how we're always battling colds, the flu? Maybe even that dreaded office bug that seems to circulate every few months.
Yeah.
Biogaia has actually researched how their probiotics might play a role in reducing those pesky sick days.
Fewer sick days now, you're speaking my language.
I know, right?
Tell me more. What kind of research are we talking about?
They've got some intriguing studies looking at adults in workplace settings.
Okay.
Think about it. Lots of people in close quarters sharing germs. It's practically a Petri dish.
Yeah, it's true.
One study found that taking Reuteri DSM 1,793 daily actually reduced the number of sick days people took.
Interesting.
Due to respiratory or gastrointestinal symptoms.
So it's not just about bouncing back faster when we do get sick.
Right.
It's possibly about preventing those bugs from taking hold in the first place.
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive.
And it all ties back to that gut and immune connection we talked about.
Right.
The trillions of microorganisms in our gut play a crucial role in training and fine-tuning our immune system.
So by supporting a healthy gut microbiome, we're essentially bolstering our body's natural defenses.
Exactly. And Biogaia's research is really adding to our understanding of how specific probiotic strains like this L. reuteri we keep mentioning can have a positive impact on our immune response.
Okay, so we've gone from soothing colicky babies to potentially warding off the office cold.
Exactly.
But it seems like Biogaia's research goes even further.
It does.
They've also looked into oral health.
They have.
Which, to be honest, I've never really considered in relation to probiotics.
It's an area that's getting more attention these days, beyond brushing and flossing.
Right.
There's growing interest in how the bacteria in our mouths play a role in oral health.
Okay.
And Biogaia specifically focuses on their product. L. reuteri, Prodentis for this.
Prodentis, okay, catchy name.
Right.
So what kind of benefits are we talking about here?
Well,
are we talking about pearly white smiles?
Yeah.
Or something more substantial?
Well, they've investigated a range of conditions.
Okay.
From gingivitis, that's inflammation of the gums, a common early stage of gum disease.
Got it.
To more serious issues like periodontitis, which affects the tissue supporting the teeth.
Okay.
They've even looked at peri-implant mucositis, which is inflammation around dental implants.
So from basic gum health to those of us with implants, they've got research covering a lot of ground.
They do.
What have they found?
Their findings for gingivitis are particularly promising.
Okay.
One study focused on pregnant women who, due to hormonal changes, are at an increased risk for gum problems.
Oh, that makes sense.
Researchers found that using L. reuteri Prodentis lozenges significantly reduced plaque buildup and gum inflammation.
Lozenges, huh?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Easy way to deliver those beneficial bacteria right where they're needed.
Right.
And it's not just lozenges.
Yeah.
They've also studied chewing gum and even topical oils.
Oh, wow.
So it's all about finding effective ways to get those probiotics to work their magic in the mouth.
What about the implant research that caught my attention as someone who's always been a bit nervous about dental work?
I hear you. Implants are a big investment.
Yeah.
So taking care of them is crucial.
Right.
Biogaia's research suggests that L. reuteri Prodentis might be a helpful tool in that regard.
Okay.
One study looked at people with chronic periodontitis who had dental implants.
Okay.
They found that the probiotic had positive effects on inflammation around the implants.
Wow.
And the benefits lasted for up to a year.
That's significant. So it's not just about short-term relief.
Right.
It could actually contribute to the long-term success of those implants.
Exactly. And it highlights how probiotics, in this case L. reuteri Prodentis, can have applications beyond what we traditionally think of.
Speaking of expanding our thinking,
yes,
Biogaia also has research on bone health.
They do!
Which seems like a whole other realm entirely. I mean, we've gone from gut health to oral health to bones.
It's amazing how interconnected our bodies are.
It really is.
And this research shows how the influence of probiotics can extend beyond the digestive system.
Okay.
They've focused specifically on L. reuteri ATCC PTA 6,475 for bone health.
Okay, another name to remember.
Yes.
And what's the big takeaway here?
Well,
can probiotics actually impact our bones?
One study looked at older women with low bone mineral density.
Oh, okay.
Which puts them at risk for osteoporosis.
Right.
That's a condition where bones become weak and brittle.
Got it.
Researchers found that taking this specific L. reuteri strain daily actually helped reduce bone loss over a 12-month period.
Wow, so we're potentially talking about a natural way to support bone health.
Yes.
And potentially reduce the risk of osteoporosis. That's huge, especially as we age.
Right.
And bone loss becomes a bigger concern.
It's definitely an area where more research is needed to fully understand the mechanisms at play.
Right.
But these early findings are exciting.
They are.
Because they suggest a potential new approach to preventing and managing bone loss.
So far, we've seen probiotics potentially addressing colic, digestive issues, immune challenges, oral health, and even bone health.
That's right.
It's amazing to think about the far-reaching potential of these beneficial bacteria.
It is.
But I know Biogaia's research goes even further.
It does.
What else have they explored?
Well, their document delves into some pretty cutting-edge areas.
Like what?
Including probiotics for neurodevelopmental disorders like autism.
Oh?
And even for managing therapy-related side effects.
Hold on, autism.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty big leap from what we've been discussing so far.
It is. And it's important to emphasize that the research in this area is still in its early stages.
Right.
But some small studies have suggested that certain probiotic strains, including L. reuteri, might have a positive impact on behavioral symptoms in children with autism spectrum disorder.
That's fascinating. So are we talking about probiotics potentially influencing brain function?
It all circles back to that fascinating gut-brain connection we talked about earlier.
Right.
Emerging research suggests that the gut microbiome can actually influence neurotransmitters,
Wow.
brain development, even mood and behavior.
This is seriously mind-blowing stuff.
I know, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It seems like every day we're learning more about the incredible power of the gut microbiome.
It's a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah.
And there's still so much to uncover.
Right.
But it's clear that probiotics have the potential to play a significant role in maintaining and improving our health in so many different ways.
All right, I'm ready to keep exploring what's next on our Biogaia adventure.
Let's dive into that.
I'm particularly curious about this research on therapy-related side effects.
It's an often overlooked area where probiotics might offer some much-needed relief.
So let's talk about these therapy-related side effects.
Okay.
We all know that medications can be lifesavers.
Yes.
But they often come with a whole list of potential downsides.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting is that Biogaia is looking at how probiotics, particularly their L. reuteri strains, might help mitigate some of those unwanted effects.
Exactly.
I know antibiotics, for example, are notorious for disrupting the gut microbiome.
Yeah.
You're essentially wiping out both the bad and the good bacteria, which can lead to all sorts of issues.
And one of the most common side effects of antibiotics is diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Biogaia has actually studied this quite extensively.
Okay.
They have research showing that giving L. reuteri DSM 1,793 8 drops to hospitalized children receiving antibiotics can reduce the incidence of antibiotic-associated diarrhea.
So it's almost like providing a protective buffer for the gut, helping to maintain some balance amidst all that disruption.
That's a great way to put it.
And this research isn't limited to just antibiotics.
No, it's not.
They've also looked into probiotics for managing side effects related to cancer treatments, since chemotherapy-induced diarrhea.
Exactly.
I can imagine that would be a huge help for patients.
Oh, absolutely.
Going through something as grueling as chemotherapy.
Absolutely.
What kind of results have they seen in that area?
Well, while the research is still emerging, there are some encouraging findings.
Okay.
For example, one study focused on a standard treatment for H. pylori infection, which often involves a combination of medications, including antibiotics.
Right.
Researchers found that giving 2 L. reuteri strains before, during, and after this treatment actually helped reduce side effects and improve the overall effectiveness of the therapy.
So not only potentially easing the burden of side effects, but possibly even boosting the treatment's success rate.
Exactly.
That's a win-win.
It really is.
And this idea of using probiotics as a complementary therapy alongside conventional treatments is gaining traction in various areas of medicine.
It is.
It makes sense as we learn more about the gut microbiome and its influence on our overall health.
Right.
It's only natural to explore how we can leverage that knowledge to improve treatment outcomes.
Absolutely. But of course, amidst all this exciting research, we can't forget about the importance of safety.
Right.
We've touched on it throughout our deep dive, but it bears repeating.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when we're talking about people who are already dealing with health challenges.
You're right. It's crucial to ensure that any intervention, even something as seemingly benign as probiotics, is safe and well tolerated. Especially for vulnerable populations.
Exactly. And that's where Biogaia's commitment to rigorous research really stands out. They've dedicated a significant portion of their document to safety studies.
Okay.
And the evidence consistently points to a very reassuring safety profile for their L. reuteri strains.
So what's the takeaway for listeners who might be considering incorporating probiotics into their own health regimen or that of their loved ones?
Biogaia's research offers a compelling case for the potential benefits of their specific probiotic strains across a wide range of health concerns, from infant colic to digestive issues, immune support, oral health, bone health.
Wow.
And even managing therapy-related side effects.
That's a lot.
And importantly, their research consistently highlights the safety and tolerability of these strains, which is reassuring for everyone.
That's a powerful statement.
It is.
It sounds like Biogaia is really leading the way in terms of evidence-based research on probiotics.
I would agree with that. Their commitment to scientific rigor is evident throughout their document. And it's this kind of research that will ultimately help us unlock the full potential of probiotics for improving human health.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from colicky babies to boosting our immune defenses to supporting our bone health.
Yeah, we have.
It's amazing to think about the far-reaching impact these tiny microorganisms can have on our lives.
It's truly fascinating. And I think what's most exciting is that we're only just beginning to understand the complexities of the gut microbiome and its role in our overall well-being. Who knows what future research will uncover?
Exactly. There's so much more to learn, and I have a feeling we'll be talking about probiotics and the gut microbiome for many years to come.
Definitely. And on that note, let's leave our listener with a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
We've seen how probiotics can potentially influence our physical health, from our gut to our bones. But what about their potential impact on our mental and emotional well-being? That's a frontier ripe for exploration.
It's a fascinating question to consider, and one that hopefully future research will shed more light on. Until next time, keep diving deep and never stop exploring the wonders of science.